Hi, so I'm Beverley Dott and I wanted to show you a few things about the temperature blanket which I've just published, or I'm in the process of publishing the kind of instructions for. I started knitting this in January of 2020. I finished knitting it at the end of June because it was getting huge. But basically the idea of the temperature blanket is that for every day I do 2 rows of garter stitch, and every night I do 2 rows of garter stitch, and you use the average temperature for the daytime and the average temperature of the nighttime. So you'll see that each garter bump, if you like, is a different colour. I mean, there was times in the summer when the temperatures were the same for the day and night, so you get 2 bumps of the same colour. Anyway, the video that I want to show you this time is about spit splicing, or just splicing at the end of the rows, so that you don't have 11 billion ends to sew in after you've finished your blanket. So if I show you, this is the edge where I've changed colour, and as you can see, apart from the I-cord, ignore the I-cord, you can't really see, and there's nothing sewn in on the wrong side, but you can't see where I've changed colours. And this is because I spliced my ends, and if you're careful about how you do it and you splice them at the right time, you can make sure that your edges are nice and neat so that you can see where the colour changes are. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do just now. So I'll move this out of the way and I will show you my very miniature temperature blanket in only 2 colours, just to give you an idea. Oops, here we go. Right, so here's garter stitch. I've been knitting on this little swatch. Okay, so this is actually the right side of the work. So if I'm on a second row, I'm going to be on the wrong side. Now I've got 20 stitches on my needle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit until there are 10 stitches left on the needle, and that's where I'm going to do my change. So I'm going to knit 10 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there we go. I've done my 10 stitches. Now I want to change colour, but I want to time it so that my colour changes at the end of this row to keep it nice and neat. Okay, so I'm going to wrap, since I've got 10 stitches left on my needle, I'm going to wrap my wool around 10 times around the needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then I'm going to leave an extra 2 inches, 5 centimeters, and then I'm going to break that off like so. Move that out of the way. So I've broken it off. I'm going to unravel that, and then I'm going to take the end of this old colour that you've broken off and kind of unply the last couple of inches. Okay, so there we go, and break one of the plies off. Okay, then I'm going to take my new colour, find the end of that, and unply sort of 2 inches, 5 centimeters of this one. Okay, and then you break off one of the plies. Then you take your old colour, and there's various ways of doing it. You can actually sort of twist them round each other this way and splice it, but I like a nice clean break at the end of the row. So I fold my 2 round each other like this. It's a bit fiddly, especially when you've got a tripod in front of you and a camera. Right, so you fold it round. Now I want this single ply to overlap here where the double ply is. So I'm going to overlap mine like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. This is where I broke off one ply, and I'm overlapping it just a little bit so there's a crossover. Then this is the bit where everyone goes, ew. You can either wet your finger, or you can just dip your finger in a glass of water or something. You shouldn't be squeamish, because remember, when you finished knitting, whatever it is you're knitting, you are going to be washing and blocking it anyway. So any saliva will be washed out. So I'm just going to do this, and you rub it together in the palms of your hands. Essentially what you're doing is you're felting your wool. So there you go, you've actually just joined together. I'm all in a fankle now, aren't I? Right, there we go. So there we go. Right, so now we can knit to the end of this row, and hopefully our colour change will be in just the right place, and it'll be nice and neat with any luck. Just about. Sometimes you get half of an end stitch which is the wrong colour, or the new colour, but it's fine. It's just to give you an idea of how I do it. And as I say, once you've mastered this, it will save you so much time sewing in the ends afterwards. Waiting for my camera to focus in. Come on, camera. There we go. There's a couple of quick rows if I can. And then I'll show you once more how to do it. Nearly there. I feel a bit like Bob Ross. If you know who Bob Ross is, or maybe you don't, I used to do a programme about painting pictures years ago. Fascinating. Love, all his pictures look great. He makes it look so easy. Here we go. So again, I'm going to change colour back to the sort of browny colour that I'm using. So I'm just working across until I've got 10 stitches left. 2, 4, 6, 8, one more. 10. Okay. Then I'm going to wrap this round 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Leave a couple of inches or 5 centimetres and break it off. Sorry about the clanging noise, that's my knitting needles banging against the tripod which is sitting directly in front of me. So there we go, unravel it. And apply the last couple of inches of the old colour. Or untwist it or unply it, whatever you want to call it. Break that off. Do the same with the new colour. There we go. Then fold the two round each other and overlap the kind of ends that you've broken off with the actual main part of the yarn, only a little bit, just to make sure that it's you don't suddenly get like a really skinny sort of one ply bit of yarn. There we go. My hands are actually really hot and a little bit sweaty, so no water needed. There we go. Let's see if this one works a bit better. How many stitches have we got? 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. There we go. So you turn, and then the first stitch of your next row. So you're always changing colour at the end of a wrong side row. My temperature blanket, and there, as you can see, that's the end of your blue, and your new row starts with the brown. And that's basically what I did for my whole temperature blanket. And when you've got, you know, 700 and however many rows it was I did, I can't remember off the top of my head, it makes an awful lot of difference. But I hope you found that useful, and thank you very much. Please let me know if you're struggling with anything, but it's fairly straightforward, so I'm hoping you will all be okay. Thank you very much for watching.